Oh, it is your sleepless god back with what if Medusa adopted a child? Also, you guys are fucking simps. Like I said, other videos, they do pretty good. I was like 40. It's like damn, 40 views. That looks pretty good. I sent out one video about Ben 10. What if he had a relationship with another person? What if a relationship with Charmcaster? You guys, I was like, first time I was like, let me look at that video. 100 views already. I was like, holy shit, that's really good. Okay, damn, that's really good. I closed my phone. An hour later, I looked, 200 views. Holy shit, that's most of my subscribers already viewing this video. Damn, that's nice. I closed my phone for a day. One day, it gets 400 views. I was like, shit. I left for a little bit to go do some stuff. I come back, it was 460 views. Right now, it's at 480. I love you guys. I love you guys. But now we're back at here. So last time we left off, our main character that now we have chosen a name for. I personally has chose Fawning. Fawning is his name now. Has now slowly killed Perseus and as well figured out who gave out the orders. Zeus's wife. And also has gotten the shield, aka called the shield that his mother's head was placed on. With that, he was treated, and as well as that, Athena has talked to him about choosing to become a god. God of poison, the god of snakes, and the gods of assassination. The 13th Olympian. As per the end of the video off last time, let's start the video. As Fawning has decided to not become, he's thinking about it for a long period of time. Should I become a god? Should I not become a god? And he decides to become a god, but he decides to change up his godhood. He's not connected to his belief, he's connected to the action. What I mean by that is when the poison level of things go up, when more poisons are made, when more snakes are birthed, and when assassination and murder, in particular assassination, goes up and gets more popular and gets more in that viewpoint, in the same way of Dracula. Dracula technically doesn't exist, but our imagination, our understanding of vampires and how Dracula was made does exist, and our fear and our understanding and our mythos goes into what Dracula is now. Same with him. The fear of assassination, the fear of poison, but also the understanding and the making of those two things make him more powerful, not his belief of his godhood, not actually the belief of him as itself. So Zeus becomes him a god, as he's a lot different now because he does not have the power of belief. God had to limit him in some way. His belief is different than the rest. He cannot have children with the other mortals. Demigods cannot become him. There's no demigod children that can go with him. He's actually pretty equal to the big three at this point because poison was not completely unknown to them now. But to get around that rule and also make him more powerful, as well as this, he's looking for a way to bring back his mother. He can't rip off the head off the shield. He knows that. That's chanted on by Hephaestus. Not even him himself, another god, can rip that thing off. But what he's been doing now for every 100 years is ripping his power into not even like a half, not even 10% of his power, and putting into a mortal baby's child. as we go to one of them. Kid that's, oh, as well as that they will have all the memories of every single half-blood before them, as well as the gift and the curse of blindness. As one of the half-bloods actually does something incredible. He goes down to Tartarus, a place where only, because the gods cannot go to other gods' domain without them, asking permission, the half-blood has to. And the half-blood finding a crystal that connects to all the monsters in the world. He sacrifices himself, using every single part of his energy to use the crystal. The consequence of this is now the monsters will, in particular now, will never die. If the legends still believe of these monsters, they will never die. They're actually more structured than the gods themselves. If the fear of these monsters, if the loathing themselves of these monsters still exist, they will never die. But that brings back every monster in existence. The Minotaur that died is reborn. Some of the creatures that fought in the Titan War was brought back, and Medusa was brought back. And this is where we go to a particular character in our modern society. Modern enough, about early 2000s, maybe late 2000s too, I don't know. Named Percy Jackson, as he was just gifted with the power of poison and assassination as when he was born. He was born with one eye completely ocean green and the other dark green. Not much of a change to it. But his mother saw in his eyes that he will be... Actually, wait, sorry. His eyes are completely blank, actually. Sorry. He's blind. His eyes, the actual color of his eyes is blank as he was born with blindness. As he was put onto the ground itself. And he knew in this world he'll be a hero. As Percy Jackson grew up pretty normally, actually. The only difference about him is that the memories from the past lives that he had. He remembered that he is a half-blood. He knew what half-bloods deal with. He knew he was incredibly powerful, especially from his father's side. He knew what his father was. He also knew how to deal with his blindness. Accidents still occurred, though, particularly because Percy is a little bit, for the teachers to say, troubled. Percy's been troubled for years, and to say that Percy Jackson didn't get kicked out of many schools is a lie. As well as that, though, Percy mostly got kicked out of schools for collecting animals. in particularly snakes. Snakes loved him to the point that snakes didn't know what to do. Like, snakes wrapped around him wildly. A lot of teachers were terrified of Percy some days because he would walk out of recess with 3 gardener snakes around him, or a rattler, at some sense is the word, and be just carrying around, as the snake would hiss at anyone else but not Percy. As well as other teachers learned that he was blind, knows that he's blind, but Percy never fell in his class. Wrote perfectly fine, didn't have to. They tried to teach him Braille, instantly said, "Nah, I'm not doing that." Percy read the words, he just felt the lettering. He felt the A's, he felt the I's, he felt the T's. He knew what they felt like. His senses, it felt like what the doctors said at least, was his senses were so heightened. Even a simple touch, he knows what it felt like. Just a touch. As well as he could sense the paper itself. But finally, he hit his 12th grade. 12 years old. Not the 12th grade. He's not in high school. As he goes to Nancy Academy. And he meets someone that actually makes him want to stay at Nancy Academy. Grover Underwood. That he knows is a satyr. He senses it instantaneously. He also knows that Brunner, his teacher, is a centaur. He can sense the presence of it. As well as that he knows mythology so well because he was there for most of it. He was there when the 12 Olympians decided to give father, not that early, but he decided, he saw some of the things that happened in this world. And he was there through it all. With that, though, Brunner seemed like gave more trust to Percy. Brunner's trust was not easy to get some days, but Percy seemed like he always had it. Percy fails every other class, though. D's in every class, 68%, 68, 68, 68. But in Brunner's, he has a 102 in his class. Slowly, he senses something, though. He doesn't know what it is. While he's sleeping in Nancy Academy, he feels the sky rumbling. He feels the ocean just crunching. He doesn't know what's going on, but he knows something big is going on. As he tries to talk Grover with it, hey, what do you think is going on? He just, what do you mean? As Grover's terrible at lying, and with Percy knowing that his heartbeat is speeding up, he knows he's lying, and he tries to drop the subject. Says, well, I just have a question. See the weather changing as he hears the heart rate of Grover beat faster. Start hearing the faster beats as Grover says, "Oh well, yeah, I sense it some days." As Grover tries to change his subject, "Oh, are you ready for the field trip tomorrow?" As Percy looks at him and as he hears his heart go from like a normal 90 beats per minute, maybe even just 80, to 114. And he hears it, he's like, okay. As the next day, they hop on the school bus as Nancy tries to throw things at Grover, but Percy just knocks it away. Percy been dealing with Nancy almost all year long, trying to bully him first. He doesn't really care. Nothing can get under his skin. For say, he's seen worse, and he's practiced with the best people. His calmness and controlness is completely unfazed by most things. But as they slowly drive to this place, get out, and walk to the museum itself, he feels the ground, he feels the statues. He senses them as it brings back memories of the old ways as it was. As he senses everything, even the paintings of Kronos, he can sense, he can feel. As he senses one thing, though, one thing that makes his hand shake. He looks over as he sees a statue of him holding a spear and a sword on his back, holding Perseus's head, crying tears. As he looks at it, as he hears Nancy, "Look!" As they all point at, Nancy points at him. As he looks at Nancy, it's the blind boy trying to look at a statue. What's so funny about that statue, boy? As Nancy looks at him, as Percy just looks away. It's the only time Percy doesn't say anything. Percy just looks at the statue some more. As Mr. Brunner rolls over there, as he says, "You know what the story is of the statue?" As Percy says, "Yes." Fawning, that's his name, right? He says, "Yes, my boy, Fawning." He says he turned into a god, but that's where we get the 13th Olympians, the god of poison, snakes. You know why he killed Perseus? He took his mother's life. His mother, who adopted him, was, Percy, you know. I'm actually trying to remember her name. Shit. I can picture her. Why can I not remember her fucking name? Snake Woman. We all know. Says yes, absolutely, it's her. Do you know what happened to Perseus's mother? Wasn't she ring fingers cut off? Yes. This was made by her. This is what she saw. She was never married again, and she never had gave birth. Perseus was her only kid. As the rest of the class starts filing out for lunch, as Percy starts looking at it for just a little bit longer, until Mr. Brunner says, "Percy, I think you should go out for lunch." As Percy looks at Mr. Brunner, says, "Okay." As he walks away, as Mr. Brunner looks at Percy, and then looks at the statue, and then closes his eyes and bows to it a little bit. "I will see you, old friend." As he rolls away from the statue, because this is where we're going to end off the video. I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.